Hello and welcome to this lesson. We're going to solve several questions on Surds, and here we go. Simplify the following Surd, leaving your answer in the form a plus b root c. So when simplifying this Surd, we'll start by rationalizing the denominator. So rationalize the denominator is the first step. The denominator. We rationalize the denominator by multiplying both the numerator and the denominator by the conjugate of the denominator. So in this case, we'll need to identify the conjugate of the denominator, which is the denominator itself is root 3 plus root 2. Therefore, its conjugate will be root 3 minus root of 2. So we'll multiply both the numerator and the denominator by this conjugate. So let's get started. So root of 3 minus root of 2, everything divided by root of 3 plus root of 2. We multiply both the numerator and the denominator by this conjugate, which is root 3 minus root 2. The numerator the same, root 3 minus root 2. So let's begin with the numerator. In multiplying the numerator, we shall expand, just the normal way we expand this, root 3 multiplied by root 3 minus root 2, then minus root 2, root 3 minus root 2. So let's open the bracket. Root of 3 times root of 3 is 9, root of 9, which is 3. Root of 3 times root of 2, this is a root of 6. Root of 2 times root of 3, negative root 6. Negative root 2 times negative root 2, this is positive root 4, which is the same as 2. Now we get 3 plus 2, this will be 5, minus negative root 6 minus root 6 will give negative 2 root 6. So that is the solution for the numerator. Now let's go to the denominator. You see, now for the denominator, we have root of 3, plus root of 2, then multiply by root of 3 minus root of 2. So if you look at this carefully, you notice that this represents the difference of two squares. Just to remind ourselves on difference of two squares, an example of difference of two squares is where you have a plus b multiplied by a minus b, and when you work out these, you expand it, you get a squared minus b squared. So in this case, when you expand this, we get root of 3 squared minus root of 2 squared, which gives root of 3 squared will give 3, root of 2 squared will give 2, and this gives 1, the solution for the numerator. Now let's go and get the final answer now. The answer will be given by what we got in the numerator, which is 5 subtract 2 root 6, and divided by 1. That will not make any difference, so this one will be the answer. Now you can see we have expressed our solution in this form that is required, a plus b root c. So it is in that form, a plus b root c. So that is our solution, 5 minus 2 root of 6.
There was a reason why.
Simplify. So we're going to simplify these the normal way we do simplify the fractions. So we shall begin by getting the LCM, that is the least common multiple of 5 minus root of 13 and 5 plus root of 13, and the LCM of these two will be 5 negative, this is minus root 13 multiplied by 5 plus root of 13. That is the LCM. So once we've done that, we just come to the question. 3 divided by 5 minus root of 13, subtract 3, 5 plus root of 13. So we get the LCM, which is 5 negative root 13, 5 plus root 13. So 5 root 13 divided by this 5, take the whole of this LCM, divide by 5 minus root 13, you get 3 multiplied by 5 plus root of 13, subtract, take the whole of this LCM, divide by 5 plus root 13, you get this is 5 minus root of 13. The next thing is to open this bracket by multiplying out. This is a 15, it will give 3 times 5, 15 plus 3 root of 13 minus 3 times 5, this is 15 minus 3 root of 13. But this one will be positive, this negative and this negative will give positive. Everything divided by 5 minus root 13, 5 plus root of 13. So we continue to simplify these. 15 minus 15 is 0. 3 root 13 plus 3 root 13 will give 6 root of 13. Then divided by, now when you look at the denominator, this is a difference of two squares, which will give 5 squared minus root of 13 squared. It is difference of two squares. So this gives 6 root of 13 divided by, this will give 25, subtract 13. Root 13 squared is 13. So this gives 6 root of 13 divided by 12. And this one simplifies to root 13 over 2. That is how you're supposed to work out that question.
He won't forget the faith and love you've shown.
Given this surd is equals to a root 7 plus b root 2, find the value of a and b where a and b are rational numbers. So we shall begin by getting the LCM of these denominators. In order to solve this one, the normal way we solve the fractions. So begin by getting the LCM of root of 7 minus root of 2 and root of 7 plus root of 2, which is root of 7 minus root of 2, everything multiplied by root of 7 plus root of 2. So that is the same. So what you're going to do, we take these fractions, which is root of 14 divided by root of 7 minus root of 2, add root of 14 divided by root of 7 plus root of 2. Obtain the least common multiple of these. Obtain the least common multiple, which will be given by root of 7 minus root of 2 and root of 7 plus root of 2. So everything, take this whole of this LCM, divide by root 7 minus root 2, you get root of 14, then multiply by root of 7 plus root of 2, add root of 14, then this will give root of 7 minus root of 2. From there we can open this bracket. Root of 14 times root of 7 give root of 98, plus this will give root of 28 plus root of 98. Then this will give minus root of 28. Everything divided by root of 7 minus root of 2 multiplied by root of 7 plus root of 2. We can simplify the numerator here. Root of 98 plus root of 98 will give 2 root of 98. Then root of 28 will disappear to 0. The root of 28 minus root of 28. Then you notice this is a difference of two squares. This is a difference. The denominator is difference of two squares. So when we simplify the denominator, we shall get root of 7 squared minus the root of 2 squared. This gives 2 root of 98 divided by 7 minus 2. Root of 7 squared is 7, root of 2 squared is 2. So this gives 2 root of 98 divided by 5. Now we can simplify this. Root of 98 is the same as 49 multiplied by 2, that is 98, and this is divided by 5, which will give 2 multiplied by 7 times, it will give 7 root of 2. Everything divided by 5. This give 2 times 7 is 14. Root of 2 divided by 5. So that is what we got. Now the next thing is to identify A according to this expression. Look at what you'd been given, that this one is A is equals to A root 7. This one is equals to A root 7 plus B root 2 plus B root 2. So since we don't have root 7, therefore it will be 0, A will be 0. Then B will be given by 14 over 5. And that is what we are supposed to get the question A and B. So that is how you're supposed to work out that question. Rationalize and simplify this fraction that is given here. So what you're going to do is to simplify. Root of 45 can be simplified further to give, so root of 45 can be simplified further. This is the same as 9 times 5, which will give 3 root of 5. Now after simplifying that, we now have 3 root of 5 divided by root of 45 is 3 root 5 plus root of 15. Root of 15 can't be simplified any further. So the next thing now is to rationalize the denominator. Now to rationalize the denominator, we need to multiply both the numerator and the denominator by the conjugate of the denominator. So the conjugate of the denominator is given by 3 root 5 minus root of 15. So that is the conjugate of the denominator. That is how we obtain it. Now after getting the conjugate, the denominator, we need to multiply by this conjugate both the numerator and the denominator. Let's do that. So we multiply, so we have 3 root of 5. We multiply that by 3 root 5 minus root of 15. Then the denominator the same, 3 root 5 plus root of 15. We you multiply by 3 root 5, subtract root of 15. So let's begin with the numerator. 3 root 5 multiplied by, so this is 3 root 5 multiplied by 3 root 5. This will give 9 root of it will be 9 root of 25, which will give 45. 45 minus 3 root 5 multiplied by root of 15, that will give 3 root of 75. So that is what you get. We can simplify 3 root 75 further, so you get 45 as 3 root of 75 is same as 25 times 3, which will give 45 minus 3. Root of 25 is 5, then root of 3. So this gives 45 subtract 15 root of 3. Now that is the numerator. Now let's go to the denominator and get the solution for that. So for the denominator, we have 3 root of 5 plus root of 15 multiplied by 3 root of 5 minus root of 15. So this is the difference of two squares. So difference of two squares. It is like this. It's an example of difference of two squares, a plus b, a minus b, which gives a squared minus b squared. So in this case, this will be 3 root of 5 square everything, subtract root of 15 square everything, which gives, this will give 3 root of 5 squared will give 45, subtract root 15 squared will give 15, and you subtract these, you get 30. 45 minus 15 is 30. Now we have the solution, the numerator, that is the numerator, that is the denominator. Therefore now the final solution be given by, just take 15, this will give 45 subtract 15 root 3, everything divided by 30. So we can factor out, you can see in the numerator 15, this is 15 is common, so factor out, you get 3 minus root of 3 divided by 30, and when you work out this by 15 1 by 15 2, you get this will be 3 minus root of 3 divided by 2. When you divide 15 by 15 1 by 15, this will give when you divide, get 2. So that is how you're supposed to work out that question.
Helped you then, and he will help you still.
Given that this surd is equals to p plus q root r, find the values of p, q, and r. So we're going to begin by first obtaining the least common multiple of this denominator, which is 1 plus root of 2 and 1 minus root of 2. And the least common multiple of these two will be given by 1 plus root of 2 multiplied by 1 minus root of 2. The next step is to write down the fractions and work them out. 1 subtract 3 divided by 1 minus root of 2. So we get the LCM, which you have obtained, 1 plus root of 2, 1 minus root of 2. The whole of this fraction divided by 1 plus root of 2 will remain with 1 minus root of 2, subtract 3 multiplied by the whole of this fraction divided by this LCM divided by 1 minus root of 2, that gives 1 plus root of 2. So let's open this brackets 1 minus root of 2 minus 3 times, this is 3, negative 3 times root of 2, 3 root of 2, divided by the LCM is a difference of 2 squares, and that one will give 1 minus root of 2 squared will give 2. That is the difference of 2 squares. And in the difference of 2 squares, just to remind ourselves on this, on the difference of 2 squares, if we have a plus b multiplied by a minus b, when you expand these, you get a squared minus b squared. So in our case here, we have 1 plus root of 2 multiplied by 1 minus root of 2. This one gives 1 squared minus root of 2 squared, which will give 1 minus 2, and that is where we get negative 1. So that is just a reminder. Now once we get that, we can now work out 1 minus 3, that is minus 2, minus root 2 is negative 3 root 2, that one gives negative 4 root 2, everything divided by negative 1. So divide this by negative 1, you get 2 plus 4 root of 2. Therefore, according to this question, if we just compare with the p plus q root r, the p is 2, q is equals to 4, and r is equals to 2. So that
there was a reason why God brought the truth to you and called you from the darkness to